Let's get right into it. Number 9. Data brokers. Right now, someone is building a digital clone of you. They know where you live, what you buy, and probably what you had for breakfast. They know your medical history, your relationship status, and whether you are trying to lose weight. These aren't hackers or criminals. They are data brokers, and what they are doing is completely legal. They follow you around the internet, watching every click, every purchase, every search. That random quiz you took to find out which potato chip flavor you are, they got that too. These companies don't just collect your data, they package it and sell it to anyone willing to pay. You can buy a list of people in your neighborhood struggling with depression, or a list of domestic abuse victims in your area. That exists too. Some data brokers even track when women visit abortion clinics, then sell that info to anti-abortion groups. That fitness app you downloaded is probably selling your location data. Someone could literally track everywhere you go, every single day. There was this case where a stalker bought location data from a data broker. He used it to find and murder his ex-girlfriend. The company that sold her location data faced zero consequences, because technically, they didn't break any laws. There are over 4,000 data broker companies in the US alone. Each one has their own opt-out process. Some require you to mail them a copy of your driver's license. Others make you fill out forms that would make tax paperwork look simple. And even if you somehow manage to opt out of every single one, they will just create a new profile on you next month, because that is perfectly legal too. Number 8. Legal kidnapping. Imagine waking up at 3 a.m. to find strangers in your bedroom. They tell you you're coming with them. Your parents signed off on this. This isn't the start of a horror movie. This is completely legal in America. It's called Teen Transport Services, or legal kidnapping, and it happens to thousands of teens every year. Parents hire these transport companies to take their kids to behavior modification camps or wilderness therapy programs. The transporters, often called goons by survivors, show up in the middle of the night. They're allowed to use physical restraints if the teen resists. These goons are often ex-military or former law enforcement. They're trained in restraint techniques and know exactly how much force they can legally use. The teens are then driven or flown to remote facilities, usually in Utah or Montana. Some of these facilities are so remote that if something goes wrong, help is hours away, and things do go wrong. In 2007, Carrie Bach's son died of heat stroke at one of these wilderness camps. The camp staff thought he was faking it when he collapsed. By the time they realized he wasn't faking, it was too late. The camp stayed open. They just paid a fine and kept right on operating. These places claim to help troubled teens. There's almost no oversight, no federal regulations, no required credentials for staff. Some counselors at these places have nothing more than a high school diploma. Sarah Stusek, who was taken when she was 15, still has nightmares about it 20 years later. She says the worst part wasn't the physical restraints or the isolation. It was knowing her parents had paid strangers to kidnap her. The industry makes billions each year, and as long as parents keep signing those consent forms, it's all perfectly legal. Number 7. Flamethrowers. You can legally buy a flamethrower in 48 states. No background check needed, no permit required. Just click, pay, and suddenly you own a device that shoots streams of fire up to 50 feet. This is real. Flamethrowers aren't classified as firearms under federal law. Maryland flat out bans them. California requires a special permit, probably signed in fire-resistant ink. Everywhere else, it's perfectly fine to own one. Companies market these as recreational devices, like they're selling super soakers that happen to shoot fire instead of water. One company advertises their flamethrower as the world's most entertaining tool, because nothing says family fun, like a device that can barbecue a tree in seconds. Some models even come with a lifetime warranty. Elon Musk's company alone sold 20,000 of them in just a few days. He called them not a flamethrower to get around shipping restrictions, because apparently, if you put not a in front of something, it makes it totally fine. Number 6. Destroying unsold merchandise. All those clothes that don't get sold at the store, don't go to discount shops or get donated to people who need them. They get destroyed. On purpose. In 2021, Amazon was caught destroying over 130,000 items in a single week at just one warehouse. These weren't broken items. Brand new headphones, laptops, and TVs, all getting crushed, shredded, or sent to incinerators. Selling them at a discount might hurt their brand image. Supermarkets regularly destroy perfectly good food. They actually pour bleach on discarded food to stop hungry people from eating it. Letting someone eat food you were going to throw away anyway is apparently worse than letting them starve. This is completely legal. Companies actually get tax write-offs for destroying these items. They make money by destroying things people could use. Some stores make employees cut up clothes with scissors before throwing them away, just to make absolutely sure nobody can use them, while people freeze on the streets outside. Many of these companies claim to be eco-friendly and sustainable, the same companies filling landfills with brand new products, burning perfectly good items, and releasing toxic fumes into the air. It's cheaper to destroy items than to store them, and if they donate them, they are worried people won't buy new ones at full price. They are choosing profits over people and the planet. France made it illegal to destroy unsold goods in 2020, but most places are totally fine with companies destroying their excess inventory. Number 5. Employer surveillance. Your employer can legally track pretty much everything you do on company devices. Everything. Reading your emails, watching you through your webcam. Every cat video you watch on company time. Your boss knows. Companies can use AI to analyze your facial expressions during video calls. That means when your boss makes a terrible joke and you fake laugh, the AI knows you are dying inside. Some companies even track your bathroom breaks. They time how long you are away from your desk, because apparently, your bladder should work on a schedule. Employers can legally track your location through company phones. That phone in your pocket is a snitch. Some companies use software that takes random screenshots of your screen throughout the day. It's like having a digital stalker that works for HR. Switch to your personal phone on company Wi-Fi. They can still see every website you visit. That private browsing mode isn't private on company networks. Most of this surveillance is completely legal, as long as the company tells you they are watching. Usually buried in that 50-page employment contract you didn't read, they are in the clear. Some companies use keystroke loggers that record every single key you press. Type out an angry email about your boss and delete it, they might still know. Some employers even require you to keep your webcam on all day. Imagine having to maintain a productive face for 8 hours straight. It's like being in a really boring version of The Truman Show. Number 4. Child marriage. Child marriage is perfectly legal in most states in America. Between 2000 and 2018, nearly 300,000 minors were legally married in the United States. Some were as young as 10 years old. Most states have a minimum marriage age of 18. But with parental permission or a judge's approval, that age drops significantly. In some states, there's no minimum age at all. In many cases, these marriages are used to cover up abuse. Once married, these children face a terrible legal trap. They're too young to file for divorce on their own, too young to go to a domestic violence shelter, too young to even rent an apartment to escape, but they're not too young to be married. If they try to run away, they can be charged as a runaway minor and returned to their spouse. Girls who marry before 18 are 50% more likely to drop out of school, 70% more likely to live in poverty, and their marriages have a 70 to 80% chance of ending in divorce. You need to be 21 to drink alcohol, 18 to get a tattoo, 16 to drive a car, but you can be married off at any age with permission. Only a handful of states have completely banned child marriage. The others are still debating whether children should be able to get married. Most of them are girls marrying adult men. Number 3. Airline overbooking. Imagine you're heading to your mom's funeral. You've got your ticket, you're at the gate on time. Then suddenly, the airline tells you, "Sorry, we sold your seat to someone else." This happens about 50,000 times a year in the US alone, and it's completely legal. Airlines can sell more tickets than they have seats. They literally sell seats that don't exist. If you tried this with concert tickets, you'd be arrested for fraud. But airlines do it every day. It's all about money. Airlines know that some people won't show up for their flights, so they sell those same seats twice to make extra cash. When everyone does show up, the airline gets to play a twisted game show. First, they'll offer vouchers to anyone willing to take a later flight. If no one volunteers, they start picking people to kick off. The criteria they use is like a dystopian lottery. If you paid less for your ticket, you're more likely to get bumped. If you checked in later than others, you're more likely to get bumped. If you're not a frequent flyer with their airline, you're more likely to get bumped. United Airlines did this to a doctor in 2017. When he refused because he had patients to see the next day, they literally dragged him off the plane. He ended up with a broken nose, lost teeth, and a concussion. Even after that incident made international news, airlines still overbook flights. They just got better at not making it look so violent when they kick people off. The compensation they have to pay you if they bump you is capped at $1,550. They can ruin your vacation, make you miss a funeral, or cost you a business deal. and all they have to pay is $1,550. Your ticket isn't really a guarantee of anything. It's more like a suggestion that maybe, if you're lucky, they'll let you on the plane, and if they don't, that's perfectly legal. Number 2. Standard factory farming practices. Imagine living in an apartment so small you can't even turn around. Now imagine that apartment is actually a metal cage, and you are stuck there for your entire life. That's the reality for most egg-laying hens in America. These birds live in spaces smaller than an iPad. Within their first few days of life, piglets get their tails cut off and their teeth clipped. No anesthesia, no painkillers, just straight-up medieval surgery. It's like getting a root canal while fully awake, except you are a baby and have no idea what's happening. They do this because when pigs are kept in spaces so tight they can barely move, they get stressed and start biting each other, so they just cut off the parts they might bite. Mama pigs spend most of their lives in what's called a gestation crate. Imagine being pregnant and stuck in a metal tube so narrow you can't even roll over. Now imagine staying that way for months. Modern meat chickens are genetically modified to grow so fast that their legs often break under their own weight. They reach full size in just 47 days. That's like a human baby becoming the size of an adult in 2 months. Their hearts and organs can't keep up with this rapid growth. Many die from heart attacks before they even reach slaughter age. They are basically living in bodies that are trying to kill them. The dairy industry isn't any better. Cows are forcibly impregnated year after year to keep producing milk. Their babies are taken away within hours of birth. If it's a female calf, she will follow in her mother's footsteps. If it's male, there isn't much use for male calves in the dairy industry. The mothers will cry for days looking for their babies. These are just the ones that can be described without getting age restricted. The law doesn't protect farm animals from suffering. It just protects the industry's right to make them suffer. Number 1. Food defect levels. Your chocolate bar contains unexpected guests. The FDA legally allows insect parts and rodent hairs in your food. Chocolate can have up to 60 insect fragments per 100 grams, plus 1 rodent hair per 100 grams. Eat a bar daily, that's 365 rodent hairs per year. Peanut butter allows 30 insect fragments per 100 grams, and 1 rodent hair per 100 grams. Your PB&J has extra protein. Canned tomatoes can legally contain 10 fly eggs per 500 grams, or 5 maggots instead. The FDA calls these food defect action levels. They say it's impossible to process food without natural defects. Pure food would be too expensive. These contaminants aren't harmful, just extra crunchy. Flour allows up to 75 insect fragments per 50 grams. That's 150 bug bits per cup of flour. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.